Welcome to the NWO Sports Podcast. Here's your host, Logan Bailey.
Welcome to the NWO Sports Podcast, brought to you by primary sponsor 3Chord. I'm your host, Logan Bailey, and today on the show we have Ottawa Glandorf basketball player and top college basketball recruit of the 2024 class in Colin White. So thanks for coming on the show, Colin.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's kick it off. Let's discuss a little bit about your basketball season at Ottawa Glandorf. You guys currently have a 20-3 record and are in the midst of tournament play as you play Bluffton this coming Wednesday. But how has this season been so far in your eyes?
I think it's been great. There's been a lot of growth this year all around the whole team. It's a new set of guys from last year, but I mean, we have fun. We've grown up together playing basketball, so it's just been a really fun year for us.
Yeah, and I mean, that's over the last few years. I'll kind of get into it later, but Ottawa Glandorf is always known to be a high-quality basketball school, and you guys are having another great season. So, I mean, you guys are right on track. But continuing on, the Ottawa Glandorf boys basketball team, I mean, you guys are playing high-quality basketball right now. The last 4 games I was looking up, you're averaging almost 74 points per game and just giving up 38 points per game, which that's outstanding. But what has led to the team's dominance here as of late?
I think we've really caught a groove. We had a really tough January. We always do at OG. I mean, we play a brutal schedule, one of the best strength of schedules in the state in any division. And so that brutal schedule really prepares us for this time of year. And just the last 4 games, we've been rolling pretty good. And we should hope to keep that going. And I think our schedule is the main thing that prepares us for that. And it gives us a lot of momentum coming into the tournament time.
Now, I kind of alluded to it earlier of Ottawa Glandorf having such a historically dominant basketball program, but what is it like to be a part of something like this along with your teammates?
Oh, it's awesome. You grow up and you want to be like the guys that are before you. Like kids now probably look up to us and are probably like, wow, we want to do that when we're in high school. That's just a reoccurring thing at OG. It's almost like an expectation. It's always there, but you always – it's just this community loves sports. They love basketball, and they want to see you succeed, and you yourself want to see yourself succeed. So it's awesome here.
Now, do you ever feel like there's this high pressure on you guys to produce year after year?
Yeah, there's pressure, but that comes with playing at OG and being us. I would rather take that pressure any day of the week than doing something else and not winning as many games or not having the amount of fun and success we have. So, yeah, there's pressure, but we love the pressure and we invite it.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, Ottawa Glandorf, I was also doing some more research, has not had an under 20-win season since the 2014-2015 season, which that is outstanding. Like, I don't know that there's many other programs in the area that have done that. But since then, every season, the OG boys basketball team has won more than 20 games per season, and the program record since the 2015-2016 season is 165-30, good for an 85% winning percentage, which is just absolutely unbelievable. With all that being said, what is it like to play for one of the best coaches in Northwest Ohio and Coach Tyson McLaughlin?
Oh, it's everything. I truly believe he's one of the best coaches in the state, and I think anyone would agree with that. I mean, he's come here and just built a juggernaut, just pushes out talent every year and pushes out great teams, and I think he really gets us to buy in and play hard. He gives us a lot of freedom offensively and doing what we want to do, but defensively, it's really we lock in a lot every day. It's pretty much all we talk about. And so he expects a lot out of us from that end and playing press in, getting up into people, but offensively he gives us a lot of freedom. So he's a true player's coach. He's really good with the guys. I mean, we have a lot of fun with him and the whole coaching staff. We've been around the program since we were 3 years old, so we know him pretty well by now. And he's just a great coach and a great guy.
Yeah, and that's great if you guys can have that type of relationship where your coach, where like you truly enjoy and the whole team can buy into it. But again, that's probably why he's had so much success, and the Ottawa Glandorf program's had so much success over the years. Now, leading into the next point, you guys came up just short last season for a state title. What do you and your team, what did they learn from that, and what needs to be done this year to help OG win it all this season?
To learn from that, you just remember it last year, that feeling of not winning it. It sucked. We were so happy. We were so close. It sucked, but it's just it's a new focus for this year. I mean, we came into this year really focused in the offseason, and I mean, a lot of guys just came in ready to go just to avenge that loss from last year. I mean, that's all you want to do. You get that close. You get so close to the feeling of winning it all. It's just like, I want that back again. And I think that's a big reason why, our record's pretty good this year, and we have a lot of momentum right now. We're trying to get back to that point again, which is just what we want to. That's our end goal, is to win a state championship.
Now, do you guys feel like you almost have a chip on your shoulder this season because of that last year?
100%. I mean, we feel like we can hang with anyone in the state, and I think we proved that even last year and a lot of games this year. I mean, we can hang with anyone in any division in the state, in my opinion. And I just feel like we come in and bring a different mindset every game. I mean, we're coming to attack you, and we're going to take your best punch, or we're going to throw our best punch at you.
Well, that concludes our first section here. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. 3Chord is a family-owned and operated business who offers the highest quality embroidery, screen printing, sign and promotional items to customers of Northwest Ohio at competitive prices. Locations in Archbold, Napoleon, and Bowling Green. Check them out at 3chord.com. That's THREECORD.com. For any of your auto body or collision needs, be sure to check out Bat & Stevens Body Shop, voted the #1 body shop in Northwest Ohio by Crescent News readers. Give them a call today at 419-497-3111 to schedule your free estimate. Check out Tenora Rams Live. Live events broadcast on YouTube, and post-game results, articles, schedules, and more can all be found on tenorarams.com. Feel free to look up their Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages as well. Jimenez Basketball Academy strives to create an atmosphere to cultivate basketball fundamentals in Northwest Ohio youth athletes, offering one-on-one sessions, group sessions, speed and agility training, and much more. Located in Pettisville, Ohio, call Coach Jesse today at 419-551-8105. We're back on the NWO Sports Podcast. Logan Bailey here with Ottawa Glandorf star boys basketball player and Colin White. Since we discussed a little bit about Ottawa Glandorf basketball team and the season, let's focus a little more on you now. So first thing I want to kind of point out is now I know you have many Division I basketball looks. I mean, you've got looks from like Virginia Tech, Xavier, West Virginia, Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State, Illinois, Purdue. I saw also that you got some offers from like Cincinnati, West Virginia, Toledo, Illinois State, Akron, Miami, Ohio, Northern Iowa, and Oakland. I'm sure I've probably missed a couple, but those are a couple that I was able to find. Also looking at some of your individual accomplishments, man, school record at Ottawa Glandorf, 44 points in a game. You have 1,000+ career points as a junior, and you guys were state runner-up last year in Division III in 2022. So after reading all that, it really puts into perspective to the listeners just how good Colin White is at basketball. So I know you've played baseball and football in the past, but has basketball always been your true love when it comes to sports?
That's kind of funny. You mentioned baseball first, and baseball was my thing. That used to be my thing. I was a big baseball guy, and then, just being an OG is like basketball came with it. And so I started to rise above in basketball, and I was like, all right, this basketball thing is pretty fun. And then I kind of, my freshman year is when I really said, all right, it's basketball now. And that's when I really started to focus on it. And yeah, basketball, it's taken over my life, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would have swore like basketball was your like always #1 love, but I'm always curious to hear like athletes like what their favorite sport was starting out. So that's very interesting. Next question I have is, with all those offers and top Division I schools interested in your basketball talents, what are a few things you have really liked from some of your visits or schools that have interested in you?
What I've really liked about visits in general is meeting with the players. You can go to any high major Division I school and the facilities are going to be great, and most of the time the coaches are good, but really like interacting with the assistant coaches and players to get their perspective on the whole organization in general is the main thing of mine I like to see on college visits, especially just interacting with the players, see how they like the coaches, see how they like the fan base, the arena. That's really the main thing.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And in my case, like I went and played Division II football at Findlay, but like getting to know some of the guys that are in the program, I feel like they really give you some of the ins and outs. And I know sometimes when you go on visits, like they always like showcase everything for you, but sometimes it's nice to kind of like hear, okay, what are some of the goods, the bads, the uglies, kind of all in between. So that's awesome that you kind of get to know the ins and out of those programs.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, with all those, what are some things that you're looking for in a college that would persuade you to play college basketball there?
Definitely a winning program. I come from a winning program. My high school is every sport. I feel like we're winning a lot of things, and that's what I want in a college program is as people who win, especially if you're not winning, most of the time you're not having fun, and I love to have fun and win. So that's a main thing. And then obviously academics. I'm a pretty good student, and I want to go into engineering. So a good academic program is definitely a main thing for me. And then the coaches and players, like we just said, just a huge thing. Just knowing the coaches, knowing the players, how the system operates, how they play is definitely one of the main things I look at.
Yeah, just curious, what kind of engineering are you interested in going into?
Probably civil engineering.
Oh, cool. Now, do you have any kind of family members or anything that were involved, or how did you kind of get engineering in your mind?
My brother's an aerospace engineer, so kind of
very cool.
Kind of fed off him a little bit. I thought about aerospace, but I was like, maybe not.
That's all right. Engineering is definitely a good field to get into, so that's awesome. Next part, why don't you break down a recent basketball official visit and explain like what it was like? Now, just because there's not many people that get to experience a college visit, especially for their basketball talents, and would be kind of neat for the listeners to hear it from you and what like a college visit for basketball is like.
Yeah, so I'd say first off, you get there and right away you meet with the coaches. Has been the case in most of the cases in mine. You meet with the coaches, you meet every coach, and then you take a tour of the facilities. You meet all of the athletic trainers, all of the nutritionists, and all the people that will take care of you when you're there. You see like the practice facility, the weightlifting, just the whole facility, everything that's there. And then you go over to the arena and you probably do a photo shoot. Would be one of the main things you would do is do a photo shoot. And then they take you on like a whole campus tour and show you where you would be staying, cafeterias, just campus in general. And then you come back, and this is already through the day a lot. You come back, and if you're there for a game, you go to the game, or if you're there just to be there, you probably meet with the coaches one more time, and then you head for home. It's a very simplified version. It's a pretty long day.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you're probably exhausted by the day's over, but
yeah,
with all that,
it's a long day, but it's awesome.
Yeah, with all that being said, what's your favorite part about the visits?
My favorite part is definitely taking the tours. It's pretty cool that every university has something different to offer. It's nuts. Every university is different. You figured they'd be the same. Their facilities are all pretty nice, but everyone has their little like, hey, we're the best at this. Hey, we have the best this, and it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys get fed pretty well too while you're there.
Pretty well, for sure.
So last thing I have, so after talking about all these, do you have a top 5 list of schools yet, or are you still pretty open when it comes to that?
I'm still pretty open, I'd say, but I definitely have some of my favorites like Toledo and Virginia Tech and Xavier. Cincinnati and West Virginia are definitely some of my favorite schools right now. I mean, I talk to their coaches on a very regular basis, but I'm no top 5 or anything yet. Just kind of see what happens for AAU and this rest of this season, and then we'll decide on a top 5 probably in July, August, and make a decision for basketball next year.
Awesome, good deal. Well, we're going to take a break here real quick and hear from our other great sponsors. Fairchild Family Chiropractic aims to help families to get better together in the least invasive way possible. Dr. Fairchild focuses on the neck using the Blair technique and Palmer package, adjusting to correct spinal misalignments. Located in Defiance, Ohio, call Dr. Fairchild today at 419-576-5070 to schedule an appointment. Northwest Ohio Basketball hosts premier basketball tournaments for boys in grades 3 to 8 in the area. Upcoming tournaments are right around the corner. Give them a call today at 419-283-5296 or check out their website at nwoball.com. Crystal Vasquez of Amerimaid Realty is a top real estate agent in Northwest Ohio. Crystal's compassion and enthusiasm allow her to find that special property or house just for you. Located in Bryan, Ohio, give her a call today at 419-799-1243. Optimal Performance Fitness is your go-to gym in Northwest Ohio, providing group fitness classes, personal training, and sports performance sessions for area athletes. Located in Napoleon, Ohio, give them a call today at 419-438-7265.
The Drop Zone Pizzeria is the #1 voted pizza restaurant in the region. Check them out for pizza, wings, subs, and more. Located in Ayersville and Stryker, or contact them about their new traveling food trailer.
Back on the NWO Sports Podcast. Now, here we have just some odds and ends here to finish up the interview. So first one is, this question comes from a teammate of yours, but I won't name who. He wants to know why you wear the wrong sock on your wrong foot.
Yeah, I get questioned about this a lot. So I wear my left sock on my right foot. It's just my freshman year, it was a tournament game. We played Coldwater. I must have not been in it, and I put the wrong sock on the wrong foot, and I played in it, and I played really well. And then I came back to the locker room, and they were all making fun of me because I had the wrong foot on the wrong sock. And then from there on out, I do it every game now, no matter what.
So would you say you're a pretty superstitious player?
Yeah, when it comes to certain things like that, I am.
That's funny. I figured I'd throw that one in there for sure. As we talked off here, I thought it'd be kind of funny to hear what you had to say. So next question. I know you are a great multi-sport athlete, and certainly I'm sure you're feared by opponents, but some inquiring minds want to know if you'll be playing baseball this season. I
will be playing baseball this season. It's going to be with AAU. It's going to be kind of tough, but my baseball coaches are awesome, and they love to have me around when I'm there.
Yeah, good deal. I'm sure some teams and other players aren't too excited about that, but that's cool to see, and definitely you can take some positives out of playing multi-sports as well. So that's awesome to hear.
100%.
Now, do you ever miss playing other sports like football? I know you played in the past. You ever kind of miss playing that?
Of course. This is the first year I haven't played football, and it was really tough to see all my buddies go out there, and we didn't have a great year. We had a great year my sophomore year when we played. We had a great year, and then this year we didn't have a good year, and it sucked to see them out there and me not out there. But it comes with the territory, and I understand that.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I was always curious about that. I mean, like you talked earlier, I mean, you're a multi-sport athlete, so I'm sure there's different aspects that you miss of the game. So,
of course.
Last thing here. So what is the community support for OG basketball like, along with such great student section? Not many schools have it to where, they play in a packed gym every night and even at away games. I mean, I assume it's probably pretty awesome to play in front of and represent your community during basketball games like that. So tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, it's crazy. Some games are just nuts. I think our Defiance game this year sold out in about 2 days. We didn't even post the tickets online. It's nuts. In our community, it's every game, every single game they come out and support. And, we go to away games. We know our fans are going to show out. Our fans are going to be there and be loud. So it's awesome to have that feeling like you're going everywhere and you have that support behind you. And even the whole tournament run, we just played a sectional final at Elida, and I felt like the whole community was there. So it's awesome to have that feeling going into every game that you got that community behind you.
One more thing before we end the interview here. Some people wanted to know, what was the toughest team that you've played this year, and who was the best basketball player you've played against?
The toughest team we played against this year. I'd say some of the toughest teams we played against this year were definitely Findlay and Cincinnati Princeton. I think Findlay has a great defensive team that they do a lot of tough things to you. And Cincinnati Princeton, just big physical dudes that really get into you and really make it tough on you. And the best player I played against this year would have to be either Austin Parks from St. Mary's or Caden Zackridge from Defiance.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious about those, and we had a couple listeners that wanted to know as well. But even going back to like the strength of schedule thing, you guys play some big schools for being Division III Ottawa Glandorf, so that's very impressive out of you guys. But all right, well, that concludes our podcast, Colin. But I just want to thank you again for coming on. Any final words?
Oh, no final words, but go Titans, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. It's been awesome interviewing you. So we'd like to thank all of our sponsors: 3Chord, Bat & Stevens Body Shop, Tenora Rams Live, Jimenez Basketball Academy, Fairchild Family Chiropractic, NWO Basketball, Drop Zone Pizzeria, Optimal Performance Fitness, and Crystal Vasquez of Amerimaid Realty. Stay tuned for the NWO Sports Podcast in the near future, and thanks for tuning in.